Good.
All right. Oh. Yeah, but I thought we were having a new person tonight.
No, so the council canceled their meeting from this month and the full council has to go out in order to approve. So, no, not yet.
Oh, okay. All right. You have any public communications? No? All right, approval of minutes. We got a whole bunch. April 14th, site walk.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the April 14th site walk.
Why don't we just do it all at once?
Second.
Just doing it this way.
Second.
Second. All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, April 23rd minutes, regular
Approve
meeting.
The minutes of April 23rd.
Second.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? No. April 30th sidewalk, the giant one.
Motion to approve the minutes of April 30th site walk.
Seconded.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed? Abstentions? Done. Any new? No, I didn't think so. All right, Sherman residence, 504 Noank Road.
Good evening, Greg Fettis Engineering Office in Mystic, Connecticut. Added a couple items that were staff review items by David, and I'll just go through them quickly. We had the side setback and the rear setback, I think wrong in the table, so we just flip-flopped them. We added the URA, which is the upland review area, that's that.
So you pulled that out.
Yeah, I think we had
Yeah.
pulled that out last
Right.
time when we were
Yeah.
here, so we kind of shrunk it, well, moved it and pulled the driveway and all that.
So can you be a little more specific about what you did in response to the last meeting? Our concerns?
That's what, it's just, yeah,
okay.
we didn't change the house location from the last meeting.
Okay,
All we're doing is addressing David's concerns, which were staff comments.
So if you remember last meeting, so
I
we had seen this here, but I had no time to review that.
see.
So basically, as soon as they came back, finished reviewing it, sent him a few comments, and that's why he's back now.
Oh,
I guess I'm not privy to those comments, or I haven't been made privy to those comments, or so.
There are the 6 comments I'm gonna go through right here on my
Okay.
response.
Yep.
And if you, I'm sure his comments are in the file or in somewhere that you can see them directly. If you have any questions. But I'll go through them first. So the first comment was regarding the zoning table, which really isn't a wetlands issue, but we fixed that. It was just switching the side setback and the rear setback. We
I
have
see.
reversed them. And the URA, which is the upland review area affected, which is this hatched area here.
So what about the URA?
David wanted to see that on the plan.
I see.
So we basically from the silk fence to the 100-foot regulated review line. It's a little sliver that runs here and it's 1,377 square feet. But that's that hatched area.
So his comment was he just wanted to see it on the
Yeah,
plan.
his comment was calculate the impacted area in square feet within the upland review area.
Okay.
Which we did, we calculated and added to the plan.
what is the answer?
It was, well, it's 1,377 square feet, which is on the plan here. It's also in our response, but it's this hatched area here, more importantly. Comment 3, and I guess I wrote out his comments exactly because he sent me an email in Word, so I could do that. So his item number 3 was location of footing drains, roof leaders, and other drainage structures. So we added underground infiltration right here, which is going to capture the roof leaders. And then we showed an outlet for the footing drain, which goes down to about elevation 4 right in this location here. So that's a tidal wetland versus we're outside the 100-foot regulated review area with both of those items. But it's
And you said
important.
that's just the roof, is that?
The roof goes to this underground infiltration.
Yeah.
Which is basically a crushed stone, clean crushed stone, has the, I think we put a calculation on, I thought we did. Yeah. First inch of rain. Actually, the first 1.3 inches of rain. So inch 1.3 wouldn't have been enough, wouldn't have been big enough this past week, but 1.3 inches falls on the roof. It all goes into the leader drain system and gets piped to this underground.
And what about the other?
The footing drain, we don't expect water at the footing level,
Okay,
but just in case,
I see.
there's
I
a
see. Okay,
piping system around the foundation that'll run out to that location.
got it.
So we do have the calculation for the 1.3 inches here, which is, I don't know, is that what you guys use?
Yeah, that's new standards.
Not everyone's there yet, every
Yeah.
town, so it's like, they're still at 1 inch, but they upped it recently with the,
What, I have a question. Why do you say there won't be any water around the foundation?
oh, because, we're basically, the foundation's gonna be at around elevation 4 or 5. And groundwater, I think it's driven by the tidal wetlands. Mean high water is about 0.9 elevation, so I think there's about a 3 feet difference
Okay.
between where we think it is. There might be some spring high water that's from rain, but I don't think there is on this site, but I can't guarantee it. That's why we put the footing drain in, just in case,
Okay.
so we don't have a wet lower level. Item number 4, can the proposed western stockpile area be moved within the limits of the silt fence and outside the URA? So we actually did a little blow up of this, and we had talked about this last time. We had this kind of, we had this stockpile over, kind of sitting on the silt fence over the 100-foot regulated review line, so we moved it. Landward of that. We had talked about that. I think we had talked about it last time. We added a couple notes. We actually had more than a couple notes. We actually had those 2 notes that he asked for here. So, and then his last item, those 2 notes are called before you dig, which is standard, would go on. Usually, and then the Office of Planning and Development Services staff will inspect the sediment erosion controls prior to any. So they'll make sure that we get this silt fence in at the limits. And that kind of makes it easy for us to stay. So I think we'll visit that a little bit when we get to the proposed motion. But the last item is, will the proposed driveway be paved or is it crushed stone? So the we typically would pave just the apron. But in this case, since the whole driveway is crushed stone, we'll do an entirely crushed stone driveway, which we clarified here somewhere, proposed crushed stone driveway. And then he also asked if it's paved, are there any opportunities to provide any native plantings to the west of the driveway turning area to help address stormwater runoff towards wetlands? So even though it's crushed stone, we also added some plantings down gradient. Again, landward of the 100-foot regulated review line, but just off the pavement. So any runoff that does run off towards the wetlands will go through that little native planting buffer. So those were the 6 items that David had asked us to address. I think we addressed them all.
What are you gonna plant there along the driveway?
I don't know. I would probably get a recommendation either from a soil scientist that we work with. Because we are 100 foot away from the inland wetlands. I would say probably some grasses or something, but native plants. We could look, I don't, not gonna claim to be an expert, but if there's recommendations from staff or I can present something to staff. if you Want to make that a technical item?
And how about, I know a lot of this area is mowed. I obviously have been out there. I'm not sure exactly how much has been mowed there. What's your plan is to keep that as a grass lawn? All the upland review areas, what I'm talking about?
Yes, yeah, I mean, I'm sure the Shermans, when they get settled, will start to do some planting and so forth, but there's a view easement across here.
Yep, you told us about
So I
that.
think that nothing gets planted too
That's-
tall. I think there's a
So
limit.
is that gonna be grass lawn?
That's not gonna, that's lawn now, this will be underground, so
Yep,
it'll just
yep.
be, you won't see it, there's a little.
So I guess
call
I'm
it-
questioning, is there any opportunity for that upland review area since you are encroaching on it? For 1,377 square feet? Is there any opportunity to plant that in some wetland shrubby species rather than keep it as a lawn?
Well, I mean, I would suggest, cause I think all this is lawn here. Is that we convert. Convert a portion of that to offset the 1,377.
That's what I'm,
Is
that's
that, but that's,
that's where I'm leading.
that's water, or I would say that's wetland word of, I don't know if that's what we're, wetland word. Of the review line, as opposed to,
Right, but my question is,
Yes,
if
the
you're
answer is yes.
choosing to keep it as mowed grass. Versus would there be an opportunity to maybe not mow that area?
I would
And
think there,
rather-
yes.
You know
I
where
mean,
I'm going? Can someone
Yeah.
help me here?
In theory, we're not.
I'm on my
supposed
own.
to-
I've had a long day.
No, I
Just
think
saying.
you're right. Recover some of that area that's being impacted by planting some things other than
native
grass in it.
species,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a condition, I don't know if anyone's seen the draft, motion, but there is a condition that we kind of. Stay out of this area, so I mean, I guess, yes, we could plant it. We're not supposed to go in there and do anything, so we weren't gonna do anything. But if that's,
So you weren't gonna, you're not gonna mow, you're not
we
gonna
weren't
plant
gonna do anything on this side. From a construction standpoint.
construction, but I'm
Whether or
talking
not-
about real life
The
stuff.
homeowner.
Right,
We were probably gonna maintain it as it is today.
Right.
Which is a lot of it's lawn, so yes,
Yep.
the answer is yes. Short answer is yes.
it's a short answer.
We can add that to the condition.
That's it, unless there's any questions.
And just one more time quickly, could you just point out the driveway to me again? I saw it the last time. but-
So it's,
And the driveway has, I know you weren't here last time, so maybe you can show her how that's changed. Because the other four commissioners were here,
Okay.
but she was not there. If you can show her how it was prior to that. And I might have a copy.
sure, so right now it's basically pull into a 2-car garage here. And there's a little hammerhead to
Excellent.
turn around, go back out. Previously, we had continued this to go into,
Excellent.
this is gonna be just storage
Thank you.
now, the lawnmower and so forth, no driveway required.
Oh, thanks for printing this out. Did you print it or did they print
I
it?
did.
for you?
Sandy showed me how to print those out.
It's a good woman.
Right, so what are we gonna have for the wording for the
He's working on it.
number 2? Oh, good.
So we could move, I mean, I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on this, but we had put this outside of the 100-foot regulated review area just because we were trying to stay out of there as much as possible. We could make that larger and move it down to probably a better spot.
Make what larger weight? Make what
Make
big?
that a native planting that we're talking about, that's located kind of here in between the driveway and the silt fence. Is expand it and put it down gradient.
And that's currently lawn, right?
That's currently, it's. So,
But not moving the stockpile, that's not what you're saying.
no, we're not
Okay.
moving the stockpile, just this regulated or native planting area.
Gotcha.
I mean, it is kind of close to the driveway, it's close to the front door. Probably makes sense to make it bigger.
Well, and I think what we're saying then too is also in the upland review area, no mowing.
At all.
Annie has this great no mow grass.
Oh,
Call
yes,
her up.
it's a really.
Call her up.
Yeah, well, you have to weed it occasionally, but.
Yeah, it's good.
Spray it with, no, I'm just kidding.
Hang on. Our copywriter's over there.
I know he's working away at it.
All right, so, you all need a copy of the motion?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
We can share a copy of the motion.
Yeah,
I just need
yeah,
to share a
Annie and
copy
I
of
can
the
share here.
I got it, thank you.
additional.
So this is what I'm proposing, you can edit this how you see fit. So under the following modification, I can give you a copy of this after, but tell me if this language works for you. You see number one in there, so no clearing, alterations, or dumping materials shall occur within the upland review area that is not specified on the approved plans. And number two, the applicant shall not mow the upland review area and plant a total of, you want to say 1,377, or you want to round it up to 1,400 square feet? of
Probably
native-
1,400.
Okay,
Mhm.
so shall and plant a total of 1,400 square feet of native vegetation to offset the disturbance.
It's an interesting way to do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put no mowing.
Yeah, that's in there. Yeah, I'll read it again. So the applicant shall not mow the
Oh,
upland
okay.
review area.
Period.
And, yeah, period. And I'll say the applicant
That's good.
will plant a total of 1,400 square feet of native vegetation to offset the disturbance.
Yep.
And that gives you a lot of latitude. So
Yeah, okay.
that could be
appreciate it.
woody, it
Thank
could be
you.
herbaceous, it could be, right? So lucky you.
I can read my.
Well, sure, Wayne, language doesn't really want to mow too much anyway, so.
Right, I'll make a motion to approve Inland Wetlands Agency 25-0003, Sherwin Residence, 504 Noank Road. For the disturbance of 1,377 square feet within the 100-foot upland review area, activities associated with the construction of a new single-family house and site grading. To approve this application, because there's no loss or wetland or water course associated with the application, the erosion and sediment control plan will provide adequate protection for the wetland during construction. This permit is subject to the 4 standard conditions. The following modification: no clearing, alterations, or dumping of materials shall occur within the upland review area that is not specified on the approved plan. Number 2, the applicant shall not mow the upland review area. Period, and the applicant will plant a total of 1,400 square feet of native vegetation to offset the disturbance in the upland review area.
And put an S on modification.
All right,
Second.
Yes.
second. Comments?
Got it.
All
You
right,
got
all,
the S?
I got it.
all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Right?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? There you go.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
You may need this copy.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think of my left hand?
No.
Ridiculous. All right, we don't have any old business, so new business, the only thing I would say is a good time to take a tour around because of all the rain we had last week.
Mm.
Everything should be really full of water and good time to look at things.
So speaking of that, so I was driving home from the sawmill today, I came down 184 and went down Packer. So you guys alluded to a couple meetings ago, a lot of activity there. So what in fact is going on? And I know you talked about that there used to be, historically, there was a pond. They must have let that loose, but there's still got to be some wetland behind there.
On Hacker. So this is the, like near the cemetery
Yes,
and before you get to Burnett's Corners.
correct.
Okay, okay, right. So I know he's been doing some test pits. He does plan to come in with a wetland application for a house and then eventually a subdivision. So he's well in septic. So he's been doing test pits
Okay.
out there as well as,
So the clearing that's been going on is outside the upland review area?
we've been out there a couple of times. Yeah.
Okay, all right, that was my only
Yeah.
question. Again,
Yeah. I
I
mean,
trust
he
you
did-
as you
yeah.
know, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, okay,
Yep, we've met him a couple of times. out
I
there.
see.
Hmm.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Yep. And let him know the Wetland Agency is going to want to sidewalk this when you submit your application.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
all right, just checking.
He's aware.
So
Do you have anything, Deb?
what's happening with that property on High Street? You remember up
Oh,
high with the,
yeah.
I noticed it's all kind of
No.
grown up, yeah.
Right, exactly. We have not seen a building permit application
No.
for a house.
I
there.
wondered about that, yeah, okay.
All right,
All right.
wow,
Motion to
good quick
adjourn.
meeting, Dave.
So who?
Second.
Second it.
All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Done.
Done.
Save Sandy from a long wait.